Anti-Afro Svengalis. Before we get started, I would like to introduce a special guest. Meet Dr. Anthony L. Jenkins. One thing I can tell you about Dr. Jenkins, he will be very interested to know about how somebody gets down in these YouTube streets. I want to address this faint at heart syndrome that we see going on in and around the Umar Johnson sector. You have these underbelly, these demons, these freaks, these cowards running around here trying to perp AFW strategies. And it's really an insult. It's an affront to the work that we do. Now, I'm going to use first a metaphor to tell you why I'm bringing this up. It's a comparison between you walking across the street and you have a cop sitting in a car who you didn't see, and he or she says, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs., you should have went and used the light. I'm not going to give you a ticket for jaywalking, but just be on the lookout." You're comparing this situation, which would be AFW, to another situation where you have a bunch of freaks and demons and liars and ingrates and abusers perpetrating criminal acts, criminal harassment, violating code of conduct to the point where it could be a catastrophic loss or they can end up incarcerated. If this wasn't so pathetic, it would be comical. Here you have this band of cowards, afraid of their own shadows, trying to flex on us with our screenshots as if we're afraid. Afraid of what? We are not. Let me see your handcuffs. Let me see your handcuffs is the one who freaks out because you use her screenshots, and then she runs over to her channel and deletes 300 videos and then comes back and says she's a victim. It's very clear who the aggressors are. The aggressors are the ones who had videos taken down, like this fool. First it was, let me see your handcuffs. Yes, there were 7 people on her, and they found, let me see your handcuffs, flipping her camera and displayed the school where she works. This is the main place that she works, where she gets most of her income. We didn't get a chance to even look into let me see your handcuffs. She provided the information. Then you had Carrie Anne. Again, multiple people on her, listening to her live streams. Carrie Anne gave her name. Didn't really even look into her either. She supplied us with the information. And now you have this idiot who came onto a live stream and gave us his name. Guess who is the one who's had multiple videos taken down for violating our rights? Coward who can't even stand up, like I said in the last video, to any man, and now he wants to flex on somebody with some screenshots while he's getting videos taken down. And that live stream that fool put back up, that's going to be taken down because there are multiple violations. What is not going to happen? You're not going to use us as a platform to think you can harass us with impunity. This is the person violating our rights. This is the person with copyright strikes. This is a person who's had multiple videos removed. We're going to keep on filing our complaints, and I'm going to reiterate the multiple violations that have gone down with licensed mental health professionals publicly diagnosing individuals, which is unethical. It doesn't matter what you say. I have the hard evidence that there are ethical violations. What do they have? The same old crap they claim that they've had since when? 2018? That started with Umar, remember? When Umar got my name, like I was ever afraid of Umar Johnson, knowing who I was by name, I wouldn't have been writing letters and signing my name like I'm still doing. And then Umar Johnson comes on. She's mentally ill. Write to the board and say she should not have a license. She shouldn't be working with kids. Where did that go? Then you have Dumpsy coming up here. Report it to the board. Report me. Do you see me standing in anyone's way? Then you have this Samba person who's looking for attention. I've already given this person, Samba, fair warning. This is not the attention you want, especially not from me. So we have this Samba and dumpsy both have a very tenuous hold on knowledge as it pertains to the mental health field, and essentially nil grasp of ethics and legalities that drive the field. Who are those? The two of them coming onto YouTube, which is an international platform, and working their hardest to continue to remind you who they are, what their titles are. And then they start engaging in unethical behavior right here in front of the world, diagnosing people right in front of the world, disclosing personal information about their clients to the point the clients would know ages, relationships, specific issues, timelines of what happened, and Dumpsy's even giving the actual names of clients on air and discussing their personal issues. He didn't want to deal with the client directly, so he's on YouTube and didn't mute. That doesn't make any difference. He still gave the names. Let's go back to the comparison. Be careful, don't jaywalk, or I might give you a ticket. Compared to you've perpetrated crimes that are going to earn you a 7-year bid. That's the difference, the metaphor that I'm giving. Let's ask the question again. What do they have when it comes to me? When it comes to Rev G, let's start with Rev G. Well, if you start digging around in trash cans looking for shit, looking for dirt, that's what you're going to smell like. They end up embarrassing themselves. I got you. Aha. What they got is a bunch of lies. He was on live stream and got in trouble because he was working. Where is that getting you? Where happened with that? What's the outcome? Did any of you have any guts to even file a complaint? You can file a complaint, but let me tell you what's going to happen, and I don't want to dissuade you. It's not going to go anywhere. Gerald Palmer has a right to go on YouTube. He's not on the clock. He has a right to do what he wants to do on his free time. What do they have when it comes to me? AAS. The same thing they've been saying for how long? Whoa, look at this email. Look at this text message that they claim is from me, AAS, and they claim these are my words. I don't even know what words they're talking about because I've never concerned myself with what they stated. You think I'm going to actually, listen, people, this is what they really want. They'll never get it. They want me to actually go to their channels and look and see what they're saying about me, then go and see if I did send any such email or text message, go through both messages to compare the message to see whether or not something was added or deleted. This is what these idiots actually think I'm going to do. There is no actionable claims that they have against any of us, and that's the frustrating part. They continue to self-frustrate because we don't engage in the same conduct. But let me indulge a little bit further because I actually feel sorry for these fools running around here like chickens with their heads just rolling around behind them. The chicken is trying to find the head and the head's trying to find the chicken. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. Now, here's the question. Where is my obligation, or do I have an obligation to confirm or deny, to provide clarity, to give an explanation, to grovel with idiots I don't even deal with? I don't have any obligation. This is what they do. It's called a fishing expedition. Why do they do it? They have no content. So they have to put out mess and beg for those who the mess is about to give a reaction that's going to be satisfactory to them. Notice how they don't even pay attention to those in their demon chats, but they're demanding money from them. When it's time to pay money to control what people say, then that's when they pay attention to the demon chat. But all the other time, they're talking about folks are not even there. We're not part of your slave plantation. Just because we came by and looked to see if there was land that was worth purchasing, we see that it's a slave plantation. We don't purchase. We don't give money in slave plantations. We don't support slave plantations. You're unto yourselves. Just because we were there, it doesn't mean you have a right for us to come back and you're going to send out the cavalry to capture us and you're going to force us to be on your slave plantation. You're running a slave extortion plantation and it's spreading. We have nothing to do with that. It doesn't matter what garbage they pull up on their nasty platforms. If you violate our rights, you're going to hear from us one way or another. This is a repeat cycle. Do you all recall several years back, Dumpsy was paying people to file complaints? This person claims they had some email or text message where I allegedly made statements about somebody has a communicable disease. I'm going to file this complaint. The person went online. Here, I'm filing it. Good. Did you see me try to stand in somebody's way? No. What happened to that complaint? I was never even contacted. Here's the funny part. When somebody tries to claim that you said these bad things about them, and they say, I got this email, I got this text message, I'm going to show people what you said. Well, you're exposing what you claim someone else said about you. So you are the one that's putting yourself in a situation where information that's undesirable that you claim somebody else said is now in the public domain. We have all these tricks. You wouldn't believe the tricks that people try to pull on us to get us to give information, and they have always failed. You don't have access. When I say you, I'm talking about you demons and freaks and liars, to the sensitive information that you're looking for, because we are not the ones that run around here and just throw people's information out. There are exceptions, however. If somebody's running up here and seriously attacking us to a point where we're going to say, hey, we are going to put the information out. And that's only been a few occasions. All the other people out here who are not the aggressors, you push them to a certain level, I'm stepping back. I'm not going to say anything. They're going to do what they're going to do because they have to do eventually what they feel they need to do for themselves. There are some subjects who don't know when to leave well enough alone. Folks have a right to defend themselves on their own terms. And I make it very clear how I'm defending myself. I'm going to stand on the truth. I got a complaint right now as we speak, coursing through the system with Dumpsy, while these other freaks run here focusing on the bullshit and the lies and what rumors can we come up with today to make some money. How can we extort people to shut this person up or to make this person talk? We don't need to use illegal methods to access our rights. We know very well what our rights are. And if anybody out there ever requests our assistance, we're going to point them in the right direction. We're going to use legal methods. Your illegal activity is not going to prompt us to replicate what you're doing. They're on YouTube's platform and they think that they can hold us to some slave plantation code. We are not on a slave plantation. I'm repeating it over and over again. If you violate our rights, we're going to report you either on YouTube, off YouTube, or both. That's how it's going to be. This is not about talking shit about somebody. This is not about just, hey, I don't agree with this person. These people are violating rights, and we don't allow anybody to do that. This is not a disagreement. This is someone trying to get content, and you're barking up the wrong tree. You're going to regret everything you're doing. People, you know I have much more coming your way. Buyer beware.